Woozy Reviewer. I have been thinking a lot about Pretty Litter, and I happen to go into Walmart, and Walmart sells it now. I'm going to tell you about it in just a minute. Stay tuned. You will not believe what I found out. All right, friends. Pretty Litter. Interesting. I went to the Walmart, and there it was. I had been thinking for a while about trying Pretty Litter until I read this article of user reviews. This was very unbiased. She collected good reviews, she collected bad reviews. Um, Having two cats, one which almost died from a sudden urinary tract infection, I'm very careful about what I buy. Well, I got there to the Walmart and I saw that and I thought, hmm, I don't know, maybe. But then I was like, okay, I really don't like the fact that it doesn't clump. I don't feel good if I can't clump out the pee too. So I said, I wonder if it really, I mean, they're saying it lasts a month. I wonder if that's true. And if it's just sinking in there, how much does it really take how sanitary is that? Okay. So I began to have questions, but then my intuition kicked in and said, something, don't buy this, something's not right. And I thought, maybe I'm just freaking out because I'm OCD about things. Okay, well, I looked this up while I was in the store because I was actually trying to call veterinarians, but they were all closed at the time. And whatwired.com says, there's a link to the article. Whatwired.com says is she has two cats, and you know she tried it. um, it was okay for her, but there a lot of people are saying that it is giving false positives because it has the stuff and it's like, do you have urinary tract infection? Is there something wrong? Is there a health problem with your cat? And a lot of people are saying that they're having to rush their pets to the vet because this is changing the color, letting them know that their cat has a UTI or a health problem, spending lots of money at the vet to find out that it was a false positive. There's the first thing that bothered me because it's so important to know for real, you know. And of course, you can't just rely on a kitty litter anyway. You have to actually pay attention to the way your cat's behaving, how much they're peeing. Usually, a sign of a urinary tract infection or a problem in that area is my vet told me, if they're not peeing every time they pee, if they're not peeing the size of uh, a golf ball or more, like, not, it doesn't have to be the thickness, but they're peeing very little, or they're straining to pee, or there's blood in their urine. So because he almost died from this, it's very important to me to know for sure. I just felt like hearing that people are having false positives out of this, and it's a problem with the litter. um, Bothered me. The other thing that bothered me was the fact that I have a problem believing that any litter can have a ton of pee in it for a month and not be unsanitary. I have a problem that, more clearly, I have a problem that it can be sanitary. Okay. And I'm not willing to put my cats through that. Okay. The third thing that they said was it does track for some people with multiple pets, it tracks quite a bit. And they also said that it, um, they're finding that they're having to get more of it and put more of it in before the month end for some cats. So it is using more than they say. And of course, they're selling I looked at the multi-cat version. And to be honest, I feel like it's a technology that is a good idea. But I feel like at this point, for me, with my cat, he's had multiple ones, but one almost killed him. And I just can't have that kind of stress in my life and questioning myself with the signs. Okay, he's peeing good, he's acting fine, but this is saying he's got a UTI. Because with cats, pets in general, they can be in pain and they won't show it. You know, they just, unless they're really really sick, and I don't want to take that chance. I don't. I'm having anxiety just thinking about it. So I'm just saying, um, there. I looked at other sites and other user reviews. You got to be careful. A lot of people are trying to sell the product, so they're going to give you a good review of it or a mostly good review of it. Wired.com, I felt, gave me very unbiased reviews. Um, as far as I can't speak for what my veterinarian would say. I haven't spoken to them yet because they're closed, but I think my veterinarian would say the same thing as the users are saying, that, yeah, it does give false positives. That can bring a lot of anxiety. And knowing how I am and Mac's um, issue with getting them so quick, actually sneak in a drop of apple cider vinegar, the raw version, into their water once a month, and that helps to balance out. So he hasn't had one in a while, but it scares me that he might, because the last one he had, honestly, I couldn't take it if anything happened to him. I love him so much. Put your paw down. Sorry, Mittens is in my lap. There we go. So, my review, I have not tried it. It is, for the most part, people seem to say, oh, the other thing they say is it does a great job killing urine odor, it does a terrible job killing poo odor. My recommendation and my feeling for this is that I am not willing to recommend it at this point. I think they've got a lot of work to do, like getting those false positives a lot less, you know, and plus it can be confusing. Okay, you've got two cats, you've got a couple litter pans, and who did what where, which one, you know. So I think I'm just going to go by the physical symptoms of watching for how much they are peeing or not peeing, if they're straining when they're going, if they're looking lethargic, if their gums are pale, things like that. Okay. If you start to find that your cat who has not urinated outside the litter box is doing so, it's so easy for a cat to get a urinary tract infection, especially if they're under stress. And for cats, stress can be anything like introducing a new cat into the house or a new dog. Mittens, he happens to love dogs. He's like, let's play. The bigger you are, the better. But Mac is, in his old age, has gotten to be, he's going to be 12 in March. Keep saying 12, and I have to actually check that. He could be 1 year older. But he's just become to the point where the dog would have to be very respectful to him for him to accept a dog. He still accepts dogs. He just doesn't like dogs to be up in his face like, let's be friends. Let's be friends. So, but Mittens is like going to the dog and going, let's be friends. Let's be friends. So I'm really concerned. I'm not going to recommend this. I'm going to say, make your own judgment here. I don't trust it. It's too new. Plus, it's expensive. We're talking $20 for 8 pounds. And they're saying 8 pounds lasts 2 cats a month. It doesn't. Okay, there's no way if it's tracking outside the litter pan. Um, there's no way. There's just no way. I don't believe it. Okay, like what did they test it with? I'll have to let you know. I'm pretty sure they probably did real cat tests, but every cat is different. Every household is different. So my cats drink a lot of water. Most cats you have to encourage to drink water. That's another problem with cats. They still have that in them to get their water from their prey. So if they're not getting mice and eating mice and birds, then they're not getting enough water. And that's why they say use the fountains, because they like the fresh oxygenated water, which is true. I have a self water. Mac likes to put his paw in it, wash his paws. He likes to sink drink. And he also enjoys having water put in his food, unless, of course, it's a little bit too much. And the vet was like, okay, well, he won't eat moist cat food. He won't do this. He won't do that. If he likes water in his food, go for it. Okay. But unfortunately, Mittens does not like water in his food. So Mittens has a problem with it. He doesn't. Anyway, so I'm really stressed out when I read that article. And I am a person who can use my intuition, who I know to look up other reviews, and I did. And honestly, I look up the word user reviews of Pretty Litter. I think people will post they like something too quick. Okay. You got to test it out for at least a month to see how it handles. I mean, this Pretty Litter says a month before you have to change it. And apparently that for most people are not experiencing that, especially if you have multi-cat. If you have like a little teeny cat, maybe, yeah, but I just no. Anything with pee you cannot scoop out, and anything that has false positives as much as Pretty Litter does, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to stress myself out. So I'm not posting the link because I don't approve of it. If you like it, you can go to Pretty Litter, or you can go to Walmart, but it's also very expensive. Like I can get a 28-pound box of my Arm& Hammer Clump and Seal, which is fantastic for multiple cats, and not it's practically dust free. I can get 28 pounds of that for $20, whereas this is giving me 8 pounds. And they're like telling you, make sure you have 2 to 3 inches of this litter. Pretty Litter saying that. Well, guess what? 8 pounds is not going to make 2 to 3 inches unless you have a mini pan. And if you have a grown cat, that's not going to work. You can end up having to buy 2 pounds, which just means $40 a month for kitty litter. So I'm saying no. All right. Thank you very much for listening to me. And if you have an experience with Pretty Litter and you've had it, say you've been using it for over a month or more, I would love to hear about your experience. Or if you have a friend who's been using it for over a month, I would love to know over time how it works out. Okay. And let's hope that they improve that, because a lot of people are buying that, and I just not feeling comfortable with it. And I've learned to listen to my intuition on these things, because I'm usually correct. My intuition doesn't lie to me. So give your puppies and kitties kisses. Oh, that's the other thing. I did read that it supposedly does not harm your dog if your dog eats the litter, but I don't trust that either. Again, every dog is different. Every dog can have sensitivities. All right. Okay, guys, give your dogs and cats and kids kisses from the weird lady at the Woozy Reviewer. I miss my babies. They're all grown up, and my kitties are around here acting crazy. So, all right. Love you guys. Bye.